And in local news, the Lloydminster Rotary Club welcomed a local guest to speak this week. Skye Ferguson has been shaping the skills of young Lloydminster filmmakers and media entrepreneurs for over 5 years now, and with a strong emphasis on setting students up for success in the trades and displaying their work.
I'm going to talk about the 4 different things that I kind of have done to provide a voice for them. So the film festivals that I've done this past year, the Skills Canada event, Arts Without Borders, and then giving them opportunities to get jobs within our community.
Competitions like Skills Canada are great takeoff points for these young filmmakers and a way to show even with enough passion and hard work, these are viable career paths.
I want the people here to know this is our future. Our youth are our future. They're going to be our people that are in Netflix shows, on YouTube. They're going to be the people that are running our social media for companies here. So I want them to know that it's an actual job. I want them to be able to instill a passion within themselves, whether they choose to pursue this as a career, a side hustle, or just a way to express themselves. And I want them to have a community involvement, so where they can share their voice, they can build self-esteem, they can see themselves as a member within our community, and it kind of just raises the stakes to make them possibly come back here and plant roots.
Ferguson hopes to expand these film festivals to a community-wide event in the near future. And it's time now for our weekly look into the PTLN archives in this week's edition of Retrospect. We start our weekly look back in time in 1994 as those in the chuckwagon community contemplate the safety of the sport.
Last month's death of a chuckwagon racing legend in the body of a bullet, George Norman, left some questioning the safety of the sport. A sport where tragic accidents have cost the lives of Norman this year and Richard Cosgrave some 2 years ago. But these accidents are the exception, and they're not the norm.
It's really sad, but it's just one of those things. I mean, people get killed on the highways, you don't really let it affect you. You just go on with it and run like the way George would want us to.
Loon Late's Ray Mitsewing is a longtime veteran of the sport, and he has had his share of scares on the track. He points out the safety measures chuckwagon racing has taken over the years.
Changes they have made in the last number of years is the biggest change was moving the stove rack, and before they used to hang and horses would jump into them, but now they built it right in where the horses can't jump into the stove racks. The other thing is steel reaches. Everybody runs a steel reach nowadays, and steel poles, this and that, and a lot of guys are going into steel axles too. I guess that's what broke on Richard Cosgrave last year.
The barrels that was the cause of what happened to George, and we've changed them, and every day, every race we go out there, we're looking for more places to improve it, and I think in the last few years we've made it a lot safer.
Chuckwagon racing, just like IndyCar racing, attracts some fans for the speed, the excitement, and the danger. The danger being crashes, which may be thrilling to the fans, but it's terrifying for those involved.
There are people that, when you listen after the races, and if there's been an accident, then that's what they're talking about. They may not talk about that track record that got broken in the same race, but they talk about that crash, and it's human nature. That's the way people are. It's hard for us because we're so closely associated with it. We'd rather focus on the positive side of it, but it's also something that has to be talked about. And again, if it works to bring them out, go for it.
With the safety moves the association has made over the years, the number of crashes is getting less and less every season. And Church and Company hopes their trend will continue.
And in 1998, residents in the Battlefords are concerned over plans to twin Highway 16 near the community.
A common sight every day in the Battlefords, thousands of vehicles roll into the area every day, many of which are large trucks. With heavy traffic comes the need for more efficient transportation. There are plans to twin the current Highway 16 route through the Battlefords, making driving easier.
If they want to stop, they'll stop.
However, a movement is underway to change all that.
What they need to do is sit down and look at it with fresh eyes. They're sticking to things that were decided in 93, 94, and 95. And they have to look at the economics changing around us. They have to do that.
Sarah Wood is one member of the North Access Committee. They are proposing the highway be routed around the Battlefords, safety being their main concern.
We need to have a better road system in the Battlefords, primarily for safety and the movement of heavy goods.
We have one of the worst highways right here in the Battlefords, anywhere in Western Canada or even Canada.
Orville Billis chairs the committee. He feels too much congestion will be created if the twinning goes ahead.
The existing highway system is very full of curves. It's up and down hills. The truckers can't make much speed. They're trying to get more speed because they want to get through the area fast. Safety, yes. These trucks will pass through the city. They'll be within a couple of miles of city limits, but hey, if they're going to Saskatoon, let's let them get there as fast as they can.
However, at this point, the committee's plan is nothing more than a proposal. As it stands, the project will proceed as planned back in 1994.
Is something that has been discussed between the Department of Highways, the Chamber of Commerce, and local residents. And at present, there hasn't been a final decision made, but the general consensus is to keep the highway twinned at the present, where the present road is.
Also, just the cost, and when you look at all of the issues there, it's multi-million dollars more to do the bypass, and we've had agreement with the city and the town of Battleford to go ahead with putting the project through.
This has been our look back at this week in retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webbs Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webbs Ford in Vermilion.
And Shelby Clark's off this week for weather, so Abby St. John is filling in. It's great to have you here, Abby.
Yes, I was just off last week, so now it's Shelby's turn. But
switching off as a tag. You guys did that kind of earlier in the year as well, hey?
Yeah, we switched off. We tagged in and out. So I'm here for the week filling in. And I heard that it wasn't that great of a week last week, weather-wise.
You weren't here to see it, but it was a gloomy week. You know, we were in the 20s, but with the wind, it kind of felt even colder. So it seems like definitely a different story heading into this week so far, hey?
Yes, today was very sunny and with a little bit of cloud coverage and some wind.
Here and there, yeah.
For the most part, it was very warm out, and I think that's going to be the trend for the rest of the week. Because starting here off here in Lloydminster, we are at 28 degrees, which has been a beautiful day all throughout the day with a little bit of wind, but that wind was kind of on the warmer side. So lots of sun, which is always very nice to see, and it's a great way to start off the week, I would personally think. But taking across the region in Alberta, similar temperatures, very warm, 29 in Wainwright, 32 in Provost, 27 in Vermilion and out in Edmonton, 26 in Vegreville, St. Paul and Bonnyville, 24 in Cold Lake, 28 in Marwin and 22 in Lac La Biche. And then on the Saskatchewan side, 33 in Macklin, 29 in Maidstone, 32 in North Battleford, 27 in St. Walburg, Meadow Lake and Green Lake, 26 in Pearceland and 23 in Isle of Cross. So seeing definitely those high 20s, mid to high 20s across the board. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, it will drop to just 12 degrees. So partially cloudy skies, but for the most part, it should be a fairly nice evening out. Definitely a temperature where you could sit out for a little bit and enjoy the evening. And then tomorrow back up to 28 degrees, a few degrees lower than what they're sitting at right now, but still definitely a very nice day out. Periods of clouds throughout the day, but it should be a mostly sunny day, so that'll be very nice to enjoy. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake, they'll drop to 9 degrees, so it'll be more on the cooler side, but a mainly clear evening, so that's always nice to see. However, tomorrow it'll be mostly cloudy skies, high of 24, but expect some thunder showers throughout the afternoon, early afternoon throughout the day. So definitely keep an eye on that. Make sure you have precautions if you're going outside. Here in Lloydminster, we'll drop to 12 degrees, so similar to North Battleford, it would be a very nice evening, partially cloudy skies, but again, nice outside sitting weather, which will be always nice to enjoy, and hopefully those mosquitoes aren't too bad. And then tomorrow we'll be at 27 degrees as the daytime high, so it'll be another fairly warm day. Periods of cloud throughout the day, similar to what we saw today, but it will be a mostly sunny skies. So that's always very nice to see, and definitely a switch up from last week. And then over the next 3 days, we'll drop down to 11 tomorrow for your evening temperature. And then on Wednesday, it'll be another partial sunshiny day, mix of sun and cloud with a high of 23 and a low of 11. And then on Thursday, we'll go right back up to 29 degrees, so it will be a very warm day out. However, there'll be a little bit more heavier cloud coverage, and we'll see some wind in the morning, similar to what we saw today, so it won't be too bad. And then there will be a low of 13. So we're looking at having a very, very nice week today with those temperatures and that sun shining bright.
And stay with us after the break. Some Filipino celebrities make a stop in Lloydminster. We'll have more on that.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
And as we turn to sports now, a group of popular Filipino celebrities showed off their basketball skills at Lakeland College recently. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
It was an exciting night at Lakeland College with a great showing of Filipino talent from abroad and from the border city. Before the main event and during intermissions, singers and dancing groups from both Lloydminster and nearby in Saskatoon showed off their skills. The main event of the evening was the Tingin group taking on a team of local Filipino basketball players. The Tingin group had some excellent skills on the court, showing off all kinds of crazy moves and excellent shots. They also decided to have a little fun with the other team, where in a humorous sequence, Antoc Velasco swapped teams only to then, when he got the ball in the opponent's side, throw off the opposing team's jersey and drained a basket. The crowd could be heard cheering and laughing at every shot, and a good time was had by all, especially the organizers, with the huge success of the event.
It was great. It was successful, and I'm so happy. And also Mayor Albers joined us this morning for this event, and it was a very successful event.
Thomas Wildman, Primetime, Local News.
And now as we head to break, let's take a look at some of your pet photo submissions. Now remember, if you want to see your pets included on our newscast, you need to email them to pets@stingray.com.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
We have an exciting announcement at Stingray here today, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Jackie Ray Greening, who is the program director for a number of stations, but today we're talking about your role with Sports 1440. Jackie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Looking forward to it. It's been a fun day here, I tell you.
Well, I'm just going to let you explain exactly what Sports 1440 is and when it's going to officially be launched.
Yeah, so Sports 1440 is going to be 1440 on the AM dial. And it is really back in the middle of June when TSN just shuttered its radio station. Right away, we started to go, well, hey, in the community of Wetaskiwin, we have an AM stick on the 1440 dial position that would be perfect for this. And so working with Jason Greger, who was the afternoon guy at TSN, we have put together an amazing, amazing lineup. Kevin Carias, who's been in sports for over 30 years, last 25 at Global TV. He's left Global. He's now joining us at the 1440 team, and he'll do the morning show. We have Low Tide coming back, and then Jason Gregor in the afternoon. So finally, sports radio back in Edmonton, and the initial response has been crazy.
That is so amazing, Jackie. And can you tell me how the format is going to work? Is it going to be call-in type shows or fantasy sports or kind of a little bit of everything?
A great question, because the morning show will be, he'll have some really key special guests, Kevin Carias. And then there is a fantasy frenzy with Hallie and Douglas at 11 o'clock, because everybody knows the fantasy world is huge right now. So they're going to do that from 11 to noon. Low Tide is from noon to 2, and Jason Gregor from 2 to 6. All of these shows are live, so you'll be able to text in, you'll be able to call in. It's going to be really interactive sports radio.
Jackie, can you tell me when this is going to launch and what time people need to tune in to hear the first show?
Tuesday, September 5th, so right after the Labor Day weekend. We'll kick in right at 7 o'clock with Kevin's show, and yeah, you can get your sports fix then.
Jackie, how exciting is this that Stingray is able to do this, especially like you said, with a need in the region? And you said you've had a good response so far, but how exciting is it to be involved in this?
It has been fun you're actually launching a radio station, because the old station used to be W1440, used to be an oldies format, and it just kind of just hummed along. But now doing into a sports franchise that is in a crazy city of sports, it has been, and it's been needed. I hear my husband all the time. He didn't listen to my show. He listened to the sports radio show. So he's going to be happy. He'll be off my back.
Well, we know, Jackie, everybody likes to give their opinion, especially when it comes to sports. So congratulations, such an exciting announcement. And we look forward to tuning in on September 5th. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Take care.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
Today I am joined by Tara Ibin, the marketing manager at the Lloyd X, and she's here today to talk to us about all of the events and fun activities that will be taking place during the CBCA finals coming up next week. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Tara.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Tara, so let's start. On each and every night, you guys kind of have a little bit of a theme for each of the races for the CBCA. So talk to me a little bit about each of those themes and what people can expect if they go on each of those nights.
So the finals are the August 16th to 20th. Starting on the Wednesday, the 16th, we will have Wild West Wednesday. So you can come in your best dressed wild attire. We have some Harrow games planned that are still in the planning. For Wild West activities, we're going to do a trivia contest. So anything for CBCA, like the check wagons, Lloydminster questions in general. So we'll need a few volunteers for that. Thursday, we have Family Fun Night. So a little bit different this year. We're still planning the Harrow activities for that, but we also kind of knew we have beer garden entertainment. So you guys can expect the Hillside Outlaws to be performing. They have performances at 5:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. in the beer gardens. Friday is Pink Friday, kind of same as last year. We'll have a competition for best dressed. The prize for that is donated by Willow Creek Clothing and Collectibles. So we can thank them for that. In the beer gardens, we have Braden King. So he was in the top 55 of American Idol. So he has been performing in the area for the last couple weeks. So we're very excited to have him. Also with Pink Night, we are doing a special of the pink drink. So $1 from each drink sold is gonna go to the Lori Craven Memorial Fund. So that is to be expected also. We're gonna have an alcohol version and a non-alcoholic version of the drink. And then to go to Cabaret Saturday, we have the Washboard Union with special guests Nice Horse. So the pre-sale tickets are available now, so for $50. And then the Saturday price is $60. So you can get your tickets online or come down to the office and we can help you get your tickets. And then Championship Sunday, we have the Corgi race. Yeah.
And so if you can, talk to me a little bit about the Corgi races. It says it's the second annual, and so talk to me about that. And if people still want to enter, if it's still open for that.
Yeah, so the Corgi race is a come for a good chuckle, I guess. It's pretty cute to watch. If you want to enter the dogs, it has to be a Corgi or Corgi Cross. You can actually go to the Pet Planet here in Lloydminster, and that's where you enter. It'll take place after the 8th heat, so approximately about 3:45, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And last year we had a very good turnout, so we're hoping for a little bit more like entries this year.
And so also on Championship Sunday, you guys are having a pancake breakfast as well as a tag sale. So talk to me a little bit about those two events.
So the pancake breakfast is going to start at 7 a.m. It'll be in the Dick Jones Sales Pavilion at the Lloyd X. It's going to run from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. The plates are by donation this year, so if you want to come have some breakfast, bring a donation. During the pancake breakfast, we're going to have a tack sale. So we're still open for entries for that. So if anyone has some spare tack hanging around that they want to get rid of, they can contact us at the Lloyd X and purchase a table. So that will run also from 7 a.m. till just before the races.
And so talk to me just a little bit about the cabaret, and for those who are interested in the country music but don't want to go to the chuck wagon races themselves, just talk to us about the cabaret and how exciting it is, especially with some high profile guests coming to sing this year.
Yeah, so the cabaret is a very good time, especially with having the Washboard Union and Nice Horse. If they don't want to come to the races, it's a good time to just get some friends, come to the Lloyd X, watch the performers perform. We're very lucky to have the Washboard Union this year and Nice Horse opening as well. I think they've been to the Lloyd X before, and to around, I want to say Paradise Hill Ranch or Paradise Hill, they had them not too long ago. So yeah, we're very excited for them. So if you don't want to come to the races, but you want to still have a good time on a Saturday, come to the cabaret.
Awesome. So that's what you've heard, guys. There's lots of exciting events coming to the CPCA finals this next week. So be sure you're around August 16th to 20th for all of the awesome events and moments that will be taking place at the finals here at the Lloyd X.
And before we go tonight, there was still no stopping Barbie at the weekend box office. The film was on top for the 4th weekend in a row now. Barbie brought in $33.7 million this weekend, helping it surpass the $500 million mark here in North America. Now, this film is the 18th highest grossing movie of all time across the continent. So exciting stuff, Abby. I know you're a big fan of this movie, hey?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I thought they did a great job, and everything that they wanted to bring out to people, I think that they hit it like perfectly.
Yeah.
They got the message that they wanted to get across, and I think they did it a great job, and I think Greta Gerwig was the perfect director for this type of movie.
And they spent a lot on marketing, and it's not trailing off. People are really enjoying it, so it's nice to see that. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Primetime Local News. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Until then, have a great night.